Yeah, sometimes you just feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You just feeling it. And I want to feel this way forever. Yeah, check it out. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the third episode of In the Good Way podcast. Today I have a special guest. They're all special guests, so every time I'm saying special guest, but this is my friend Silvia. Me and Silvia actually met on Instagram, just me posting my spiritual videos. She reached out to me one day and asked, like, hey, could you talk, or do you want to talk? And then and of course, with spiritual stuff, I'm always like, yeah, and next thing you know,
let's do it. What's
yeah,
up?
yeah. We were talking and we ended up talking, I don't know, probably 2-3 hours the first time we talked. And it also, it helped that she's a Gemini too. So, I guess we just like, and it just went from there. But she had a lot of interesting stories, spiritually. And, a lot of it resonated with, experiences I've had and everything. So we were really in sync when it came to that. And, even strange things happened a few times while I was talking to her that happened with people, only with people that I've been really in some deep spiritual conversations with that were very strange, that I'll talk about later. But first, I'll let Silvia, even though I already introduced her, kind of give a little background. Like I said, she's in Monterrey, Mexico. And what do you call it? Share a little bit about, like, how it was, like how old you were when you first started having these spiritual experiences, when you noticed what kind of experiences you had and all that, so everybody could, kind of get a little idea of your
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Omar, for that. And my name is Silvia Perez, just like he just announced. It's actually longer than that, but I told him to omit it because there's no point. That's too many details, and it'll go longer. I assume. My first spiritual encounters, or whatever you want to call it, or things that I felt was the very, very first time that I can think of, and that it really shocked me, was when I was 19. I already had a kid. She was around 9 months to a year, I believe. And I had a dream, and it was a nightmare for me. It was very vivid. Long story short, it was it was a dream about my brother getting shot in the head and basically dying, right? And me, talking to this spiritual being. It was just a being of light. There's no, there's no other way of putting it. And I was like, you know what? No, that's not cool. Like, my brother has suffered so much throughout his life. He should have more to live, like he should discover love and have a family and know what it is to be a parent, because it's pretty awesome, because I'm living it, right?
Yeah.
And I want that for him. And it was like an argument with this, life being like, that's not cool, And I guess I was too agitated. I don't know, but point is, the light being was like, it's okay. He's not gonna die like that. And he's not gonna die. Like, but you just said he got shot in the head, but whatever. Let's not go into details. I wake up, and sure enough, my brother got shot in the head.
No.
He got shot. Yeah, he got shot in the head. It was a deal gone wrong. They, whatever. It went down, and he survived. Like, he lived for years with a bullet right here. It, like, literally point blank.
Wow.
And he survived. Like, the bullet apparently needed distance for it to cause any damage. Whenever I learned, right? I never told anybody this because, think about it. It's pretty, cray. Nobody wants to hear any spiritual anything, because it scares most normal people,
So we're not normal.
No, but
No, I got you 100%. I got
you. So I didn't say anything. I kept it. but that was one of the strongest ones that I could think of, and I was 19, right? Of course, I did have when I was younger, but obviously I didn't know any better, right? And then whenever that happened, it was just in the back of my mind. Other things happened in my life that made me change my perspective of life. I had to change, or I feel like God has, or source, whatever you want to call it, has other plans for me. So it really just changed the way I saw life, the way, why we're here. You want to learn everything, right? That year I lost my uncle, my brother. I lost my dad as well, within the same year. Within the same year, so I feel like pain kind of like makes you go inside and see what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And that's whenever we get more connected, and it just started getting stronger. And by that I mean that I thought everybody thought like this, Omar. To tell you the truth, I thought everybody was like the same as me. Oh, whenever you come across a crossroads, I never saw a crossroads. I saw three different ways of doing things. I saw the consequences to those things. Like, I saw all of that, and then my higher self would tell me, like, this is what's best for you. And my human or my logic way of reasoning was more like, well, but this one is more, logical, more like this. I'm gonna get more for it, that's selfish, that whatever.
Yeah.
But the true part is always the way to go. You know what I mean? The true path, which is the middle. That's what I find is like the direct. That means that you're not BSing. You're not thinking about bad or right. You're just thinking about what is correct and just going straight. Like, it's really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But well, that's what I've learned.
Let me, before we go further, so when you said about that the light being that talked about your brother, so it basically kept its word then, right? Like, it told you that your brother was not gonna die then.
Yes.
And he didn't.
Basically.
So
he didn't die. Yeah, that's why I now know it was a premonition, right?
Yeah.
Or what it is in the book, what it means.
I mean, now in hindsight, do you think maybe because you asked, it didn't happen? Like, did they, like they did you see, like that I've had situations like that, but also, throughout the whole, some people don't like the Bible, some people like, but to me, that was one of the first things, because like you said, at first I didn't know. I thought I wanted to find out if it was normal to talk about these things. So when I started, I didn't know anybody. I wasn't around indigenous people. I wasn't around. So I started connecting with the church thing. But then I saw at church, it was kind of like, so I started reading the Bible by myself. And I saw all these people that in the Bible that was like, oh, I went through this. I went through this. I went through this. So kind of like how you said, there's a lot of instances in the Bible where they're like, praying to God, source, whatever. And they're like, oh, no, please. Like, there's one story where they're like, hey, you're going to die. So get all your affairs in order. And then he pleads like, please don't let me die yet. And then, okay, we're going to give you 10 years. And sure enough, gave him extra 10 years. And after the 10 years, then he dies, and they gave him plenty of time. All right, get all your affairs in order. So see, the same with you. Just, I'm wondering your perspective. If you think it was more like, because you said like, no. And then they're like, okay. Or do you like, how do you feel about that?
Truthfully, like now at this point, because of how everything went down, because my brother now is dead, right?
Yeah.
He did
Sorry,
die.
my condolences.
He did die. Thank you.
Yeah.
He did die, and he got shot, and it was an accident. And that's one of the things I was told, that I was told in the dream, that he was gonna die in an accident.
But and how much after, from when it first happened, how much after?
Oh, like we were talking about, I was 19, I'm 40 right now. So like 20 years later,
Wow.
20,
Yeah. So he got another 20 years after.
Like 21, 22. Yeah, it was a long time. And he did get married.
Wow.
And he did find the love of his life, and he made two beautiful babies. They're gorgeous. You know what I mean? Um, like he did. He was really happy, and like I'm more than sure he wanted to stay. But he did um, get to do those things.
They give him
Like he did.
all those
Yeah.
experiences. and everything.
Yes. He had like I have so many pictures. Like I go through them. I'm just like, wow, he was so happy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But now, okay, this is where it gets real.
It already got real, but yeah, I get if it could
This
get
is where it
real.
gets real. It's because like I could tell you I had a premonition. This happened, right? But for me, it's a confirmation, right?
Yeah.
It's a confirmation. It's all about the confirmation because it makes you feel less crazy. You know what I mean? Because people are so disconnected, they're gonna make you doubt. They're gonna make you be like, oh no, that's okay. Like, no, I'm not going. I know what I felt. So, anyways, whenever he passed away, I had like a big hurt in my heart,
Mm.
right? And I did have a dream. It's obviously not a dream whenever you're sleeping. My belief is that you're really awake, right? But on the other side, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
And by that I mean on the higher realms. Let's call it the higher realms.
I agree.
And um basically that live being was like, hey, so what's up? Let's do this again or what? I can save I can save your brother again. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I knew this was like, like
It
my
was
human
after he
was
had.
like,
It was after he had already passed away.
no, it was whenever he was in the hospital
Oh
because
wow.
he stayed in the hospital for 5 days
Uh-huh.
where they were, trying to get the bullet out,
Wow.
right? Because they wanted it had pierced his lung and stuff like that. He was fighting for his life basically. So that being came to me in my dream, and it was like, oh, so I can give you, like you can have more time, you know. And I'm like, no, because what happened last time?
What? Why, what, what do you mean? Like what happened?
Well, sí, porque whenever that happened, yes, like my brother got to live his life and everything, but there was a lot of things that I did. You know what I mean? For instance, that's whenever La Santísima Muerte came
Oh
into my
wow.
life, right? And so,
By just herself, or did you ask?
no, it was her, like
Oh wow.
herself. And it was like, oh, okay. And I met her through my brother. I knew who she was through my brother. He had some dealings because he would do some movimientos ilegales.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, you don't have to
not
disclose. Yeah, so don't worry.
and
But I got
so
you. I got you.
yeah, no, so he would pray. You pray, you get the response, of course.
Hmm.
And but everything has a price. I didn't know that, of course. I was a kid. But now, like as an adult, whenever my brother was in the hospital and I got that dream again, like saying like, yeah, he's in the deathbed, but he's gonna make it, you know? Like like the being or whatever you want to call it, wanted me to be like, oh no, let him live more. You know what I mean? Like I felt almost manipulated into because of how I felt for my brother. You know what I mean?
But the being and the Santa Muerte weren't the same
I think
being,
it
right?
was. Now,
From the first time, or just the second time?
I think it's not from the first time. I
Oh
think
wow.
like that's the conclusions I'm like now because of my second what happened the second time,
Hmm.
right? Where like the manipulation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was like almost preying at my weakness because
Hmm.
everybody, even everybody that knew me knew how much my brother meant to me, right? I'm pretty sure everybody has a brother. I'm more than sure everybody has a brother, but it was more like since I was born, we were very together, right? We were always there for each other. He helped me raise my kids after my divorce. You know what I mean? It, like the bonding, the bond was there. So I feel that whatever was preying on that. You know what I mean? And I was like, no. I'm like, you have no power over me. Like I do what I want. Is what we were talking about the other day, right? What was it yesterday? No, 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 no. If my brother if it's my brother's time, then it's my brother's time. Let him go with God. I have no power. Like I'm not God. You know what I mean? Like I have no power. He came here to learn a lesson. He's going back.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He's good. He's
Yeah.
good. Like,
But that, like, why do you think then the first time you weren't able to see that, and then the second time you were aware that you
I feel because I was a kid,
Oh, okay.
and this second time I've already gone through more spiritual awakenings, if you want to call it that. Like I started researching more what things meant, because I mean, come on, like what is going on? Why am I feeling this? Why am I having this dream? Why whenever I meet people, I already know what's gonna happen, or it's something, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean, but no, it's fine. Say it so people could understand.
Like for instance, like I can tell you like one of the things that happened to me. I met this girl. She was training me on my new job. She was training me. It was awesome. Whatever. I had like a little feeling, right? And she was like, ay, no sabes de qué traigo ganas, and ay, traigo ganas de esto y de esto. And she was talking about some tacos, burritos from California, actually.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, they used to make them like this, and I don't know, like tipo chimichanga or whatever. The way she described it, it was so delicious. And I was like, that sounds so delicious. And then she's like, ay, no, tanto ajá, ni que tuviera panzona. Luego, you are, good boy. Like, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it just comes out.
Yeah.
Without me, like, stopping it. And yeah, she has a baby boy right now. Like, and she remembers that. She remembers that because she was in shock. And I forget sometimes that people are not connected like that. So you can't shock them like that.
So you told her that you told her like in, you know, like she was pregnant basically, and then she really ended up
she was playing. She was like, oye, me suena toda, parece que estoy pantona, ¿verdad? Well, actually, you are, you know.
You told her straight out.
Because I felt it. Yeah, because I felt it. I felt that energy. And see, how do you explain that to someone? Oh yeah, I felt the energy of your baby coming through, and it's a male. Like what? Like who says?
Yeah. Oh no. And so like what you were saying about the energy, like it still blows my mind that people don't get it, that that's all we really are is energy, right? Like everything is like, you know, energy. So it always blows my mind that you know, you don't even got to dig that deep to really get, you know.
But yeah, that's what we think.
I mean, wow.
No, that's what we think. That's
no, maybe you're right. Maybe
like, you think about it, people are so like numb.
Yeah.
They're so dehumanized, desensitized. Like we're just talking about. They give the power. They let somebody else run their lives. And it's like, no, dude. At the end of the day, people are like, oh no, I can't do that because nobody can do that. Nobody can stay out of the matrix or whatever you want to call it. Nobody can stay out of the system. Nobody can. No, you know, everything's doable.
Yeah.
You just don't want to pay the price. You just don't want to. You know?
And right now that you mentioned the whole matrix thing, because that's what I was talking about earlier when I said that this crazy thing has happened to me already. And it's happened to me when I was talking to you. Literally, you were on the phone as I was driving, and this happened. It happened with my other friend, you know, who the first one I interviewed, Trish. It's happened multiple times while I was talking to her. I think it happened multiple times while I was talking to you with my other friend. And it was always in the middle of a very deep spiritual conversation. And it's like I was driving on the road and a car was coming on the wrong side of the road to where I had to swerve or something. Like, what the hell? And that's what it felt like a glitch in the Matrix. Like, you know, in the movie The Matrix, is like the agents could turn into anybody,
Yeah.
like get you. And that's what if I was like, dude, this hasn't happened like my whole life. And then all of a sudden, I was starting to meet more spiritual people, and I would be on the phone having these crazy in-depth conversations. And at that moment, it was like, and it happened within like a year, it was like when my brother passed away. That's when like the veil dropped. Like I got very.
They'll stop you. They're like, no, baby, you can't be putting that out there. No.
And that's what it felt like. It was like, how is it possible? It's like, it felt so impossible, but I felt it like that. Like I was like, dude, there's no such thing as coincidence for me, because
at all.
Too exact. It's too exact.
When it's happening, like for instance, one of the things that happened to me, just like you, I was talking to my daughter, and I had this feeling, right? And I wanted to tell her, like, look, you need to do this, and that, it's personal issue, right? So she was like, oh, Mom, but don't tell me. Let me learn from it. Oh. But whenever she said, don't tell me, you could hear the static, but it was almost like silent. And because I was trying to tell her, I'm like, baby, you're gonna, like,
oh wow,
I'm a mom. I'm gonna have to, like, no, baby, te conviene mejor esto. You know what I mean? Like,
but the phone was messing up as you were telling her.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's like, Mom, and I was like, can you hear me? And we kept going back and forth. And then she was like, look, Mom, they don't want you to tell me. Don't tell me, Mom. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. Because sometimes they have to learn their own way. You know what I mean? And I get it. I get it, but it's still, you want to save them from that. Yeah. As a mother. But I'm saying.
Go ahead. Sorry, go.
No, I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, like, yes, they'll interrupt.
Yeah.
They will.
No, and it's like I think I've mentioned this in videos. Like there's been times where I wanted to share information, and no matter how much I tried, that video would not upload, or it'll upload and it'll be like, oh, there was an error, and I'll try like 5-6 times, and then I'm just like, you know what? They're not gonna let me. Like I don't know how come I could, and then I'll try like another video that's about whatever, and it'll upload, no problems, like nothing. But the one that I, something really deep where I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna share it. Like at the risk of sounding crazy, something being really deep, I'm gonna share it, and then it just won't let me upload. Like no matter what, try on another computer, try on the phone, and it's just not happening. So I'm just like, how is that even possible? Like what is it that's, blocking like all this stuff? But see, you experience it too, so So
yeah,
so we're not crazy.
That's what's so awesome. Exactly. Like that's why I enjoy our talk, because we have so many like similarities. Like whenever you started talking about how you would get messages, animals and what they meant and all of that, I'm like, oh, that's so cool, because you have to think about it. Spirit, God, the universe, whoever you think is sending you the message, it's like, see, whoever you think is sending you the message, just pay attention. You know what I mean? Pay attention and do it. Do it. Yeah. That's it. It made me stop.
That what?
Oh, yeah. Give me a second. 5 seconds. Give me a second.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, with my puppy.
No worries. So let me see. What else was I gonna ask you?
Okay, now we do have a lot in common. That's how we started talking, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about how you got the messages from the spirit, and I learned that everybody gets the message differently.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The way you're gonna get it.
Yeah. No, I mean, and with me, they use everything. Like, one thing that was crazy that happened, and it was in 2020, right? I started having, like, I didn't even know how to pronounce like tarot, right? Like tarot, I would say tarot or whatever. I didn't know what the hell it was. I knew the cartas.
Like tarot.
Yeah. In Spanish, like las cartas, right? Like, oh, leen las cartas or something. But I never did it or nothing. And it came into my dream. And so I went down the rabbit hole. Like what was crazy, right? Like, I'll just say it real quick. Because I want to interview tarot reader. I actually had reached out to
Oh,
one.
that's awesome.
Yeah. I had reached out to one, and they were like, "Oh, I'd love to do it." And then last minute they flaked it. I have no idea why. But that's the funny thing about these interviews. Like there's been a few already situations where it didn't go through, and I'm just like, I know things happen for a reason, kind of thing. But it's cool. I'll reach out to another one, right? And so that's why, like, this story I was gonna share during that interview, but I'll just say it real quick. Like, basically, it was like I had never heard of it. It came to me in a dream, and I knew where to look. And they showed me like a reader and the message. And when I looked, I just typed it up. Like, I knew, and something popped up, and I looked at their video. They were like reading the cards, but it's like those for the collective kind of readings. And it resonated. It was exactly like all the things I was going through at the moment. I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. So I went down the rabbit hole for a little bit. And then basically, like, I learned, and then I realized I had been dreaming in tarot for years. Like, what all the little cards mean, I had been seeing in messages. And I was like, dude, this is insane. Like, I didn't even know. So I don't know if, like, in a past life I knew tarot cards, and it came back to me after. Like, it's just too crazy. Like, how have I been dreaming in tarot? Like, it's just been crazy. Like, for example, just so people understand that don't know nothing about tarot, like the tower, right? And in the cards, there's a tower, right? And when the tower moment happens, it's kind of like your whole life could flip upside down, but it's meant to teach you something. Like, you could lose a job or relationship, or, even losing a loved one. Like, it's a tower moment. Like, and it's meant to, like, it almost seems like chaos, but it's going to flip your life upside down, but so you could learn. It's always meant to learn. And so I had a dream, like maybe even a year before, like, I even looked at a tarot card and knew what it was. And it was a dream where there were these towers, and I was shaking. I brought those bitches down. Like, I don't know why. It was like, and I did. It was a time when my whole life flipped upside down. And in the dream, though, I was bringing these towers down. Like, there was one huge tower, then another huge tower. So I didn't just bring one tower down. And I remember I was like, holy crap, all this stuff happened. Like, things flipped around. Like, I think relationship-wise, job-wise, like, everything was flipping upside down. So, and then, whatever, it like, you build anew, and then you go in a different direction. So it was crazy, like, but yeah, like, so I've gotten messages in that tarot. Animals is usually the most for me. Like, animals, even today, it was crazy. Like, I was just driving on the road, and this little hummingbird just comes out. Like, there's no flowers or nothing. It just comes in the road, and it's flying over me, and I'm like, and it's like really doing stuff to get my attention, but right in the middle of the road.
You're like, what's up?
Yeah, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I got you. And then I go, and another one pops up just the same. And it's like, hey, in the middle of the road. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, okay, I got you. And so, I looked it up just to brush up. Like, every time, you can't remember everything. There's so much to it. So I looked it up, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's 100% accurate with what I'm dealing with, So the hummingbird, I mean, yeah, the hummingbird is just badass. Like, it's not like they're just amazing. They keep pushing on no matter what. So I don't know if it had to do more with that. Just like, whatever you do,
keep on going. Keep on going. Like, but I think, roll with the punches.
Yeah, 100%. But I think in mine, it also meant to rest, which is funny because they say that hummingbird, their heart beats like 1,200 beats per, I don't know if it's minute or like, it's insane, like 1,200 beats per minute. I think because humans is like what, like, I don't know if it's, what is it, like 60 per minute, or I don't know what humans' heart beats, but the hummingbird is like 1,200.
But let's just say pretty fast.
Yeah, hummingbird. So it's like, yeah, to know when to rest too, like the hummingbird. And I think that out of all those messages, that was the one that was jumping out at me.
What's jumping out at me right now is that pain in the back of your head.
Oh, the owl?
Yeah.
And I had to use it. Maybe I used it for a reason. Why is it jumping out at you?
I don't know. I don't know. I was like, what is going on?
Well, maybe.
Es la lechuza blanca, no?
Yeah. But maybe like a week ago, I was having a very vivid dream. I have to look at the calendar, what other things were going on, but it flew across me in the sky in the spirit world. But it has my whole, like, number one, I think, was the hummingbird, and the owl has been like one of my, it doesn't even feel, they call them spirit animals, but then you have spirit totems where they're kind of with you for your whole life. That's what the owl feels like to me. Like, it's been there. It would come to me. Like, sometimes I'd be traveling in the spirit world and the owl would be like flying over me, like guiding me. So, and it's crazy because whenever I'm around native people, they don't like the owl. Like, I think natives from Mexico, yeah, but natives from up here, like they don't even want.
It has different meanings. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, everybody gets the message as they're meant to.
Yeah. So,
but see, that's what we're talking about. Like, not everybody is gonna be willing to be like dig deep into those convos with themselves. Like, okay, why did I see this bird? Why is a hummingbird? A lot of people just dismiss it. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, a hummingbird. Cool. Let me take a picture. Post it on Insta. Bye now. That's it. They just move past it. They don't think, oh, maybe I'm getting messages because, I don't meditate. I don't go inside myself. Heck, I don't even pray,
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of people take praying like very, oh no, you have to do. Praying is just talking to your inner God or to your inner higher self. Just, what's up? What do I need to do? Guide me. Yeah. But people don't. They don't ask anymore. They think they know better. They think that their, human brain is gonna be able to grasp and we can. I'm not saying human beings were non-intelligent. Heck yeah, we're very intelligent. God made us perfect. But regardless of that, our brain is just, I feel, is just for this 3D world. How is it gonna grasp like the future and time and all of that? No, only God can do that. And
but see, that's what, not to interrupt you, but that's why I feel they made us like that more now. See, before, like I said that on some video I made, like how, see, to native people, it was always like, it was normal to walk in both worlds, especially for medicine men, shamans, and people that were in tune.
I know now. I know that. Before I didn't know that. Yeah. But yeah, that's super cool.
But no, I agree with you that most people just look at it like, yeah, this is it, face value. Like, we live in this 3D world, and they don't see beyond that. But our ancestors did, though. They walked in both. That's why they weren't only searching for the material stuff, right? Like they were rich, and like in today's standards, they wouldn't be rich, but the knowledge they had was priceless compared to how people live now. You know what I mean? So.
Oh no, for sure.
No, and real quick, when you mentioned like about how looking up the animals, like you reminded me of when I first noticed the hummingbird, right? Like when I first noticed him, it was like, I would be running up like, cerros, like mountains, whatever. And I'd be about to give up, right? And something would tell me to keep pushing. Sometimes a little hummingbird would just come and I'll be like, okay. And I'll keep going, and we're going like another mile, running up or something. And then when I'll get to the top and I'll be about to like pass out, and a little hummingbird would just come out of nowhere. That's it. Right when I got to the top, it was just like, and then that's it. Like, you did a good job. So I went to look it up. And the first thing I ever saw about hummingbirds was that it was the souls of departed Aztec warriors. So out of all things, that's what I saw, that it was like the Aztec warriors that was the, for being warriors here on earth, like they, it transmuted into little hummingbirds. And so, and the hummingbird is like the only animal that could go between the spirit world and the physical world. So I was like, okay, like, since I was doing kind of warrior stuff, because I would push myself to like, literally, sometimes I felt like I was in a die. Like, it'd be like 100 and something.
Sí, me acuerdo que me decía.
Yeah, I wouldn't have no water, but I'd be like, you know what? If, God, creator, wants me dead, then so be it. And I'll just go and, I'll push myself. And every time I push myself, like the little hummingbird would come. So it made sense with the warrior thing. So that's when I was like, oh, wow, it actually meant something. And that's how I started learning about the spirit animals. But the first one was the hummingbird. And that's how it came to be. So that's pretty, like you said, like I actually looked it up and who knows, maybe people hear this, then they'll want to look things up more and stuff like that.
Yeah, they should. They should. Like, what does it mean? What's going on? Because it's like, question it. Like, don't just, like you said, don't take it just face value. Is that
face value? Yeah, face value.
Yeah, just don't, like, it. Things are not. It is not what it is. You know what I mean? Like, how people are like, it is what it is.
That's deep right there. Yeah.
It is what it is. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's
And
not. You know,
no,
God's bigger than that. You know, like I don't know why people, you know, and we were talking about that. We're one energy. It's just a different perspective. That's it.
yeah. No, and it's true. You know, like but see, that's why I feel that for some reason, like, see, I know, like, see, we probably have different views on it, but not so different, but just like how you said that there's really no good and bad. That's how you view. Like, there's really no good and bad. There's just,
I see it.
but to me, it's like, I get it, but to me, I see it like there is bad things because I think okay, to be like, you know, to be fair to your point, it's kind of like, okay, for example, if a bear comes and eats somebody, you're not gonna say, oh, what a bad bear. You'll be like, nah, that mofo was hungry, so it ate that person, and ni modo, you know, it was, but it's not a bad bear. It just did his instinct, right? A bear came, there's somebody, it ate him. You're not gonna be like, oh, what a bad bear. But now, if a dog comes and bites someone, you will say, bad dog, bad dog. Why? Because we think of dogs as being domesticated. We feel that as humans, we could control dogs. So there it goes. It's kind of like people we expect, because see, people they fell under this umbrella, right? Where we kind of have like well, this is good because this is the acceptable behavior.
It's called duality. And that's what this three world is. And that's what it teaches us. It's called duality.
Yeah.
This is bad and this is good.
Yeah, but I kind of agree with what you say. Like, it's only good or bad because we say, like, this is acceptable, this is not. It's like we all could agree that a child molester, what are we gonna call him? See, we're not gonna say, well, he's not good or bad.
See, like right there, we're trying to reason with our human brain, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so whenever I say that there is no good and bad, I'm not talking about this perspective of here on.
No, of course. See, I was getting there. I understand you, but I want to make it so everybody.
Because we are the yin and the yang.
Yeah. But see,
that's what I mean.
Yeah. So I get it from, I get it from the thing. I think, and not to say.
I love that. I love what you just did. I get it from.
Oh, yeah. No, like since we talked about animals, like whenever, like one of my kind of totems is like the red-tailed hawk, right? And people don't realize that the hawk has even better eyesight than the eagle. Like everyone always posts the eagle, this and that, right? So many people use the eagle. It's a very strong, powerful, spirit animal, totem, like creature in itself, right? The eagle. But the hawk actually has better vision. And so it comes to me when it's trying to remind me, like, okay, get out of your head, get out of your human head, take a step back, look at the whole picture.
And that is the way we're supposed to. Yeah, and it's not even about. I like that. Step back, step back, but step back into yourself. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you know what I mean? Like, go in there,
Well, I mean, I think after, but I think at some point you have to even step outside yourself, like see things from outside of, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was trying to get to that thing about how I understand that. I think the good and bad is more because as humans here on Earth, we agree, like, this is good, this is bad. So that's why it falls. Just like a dog. See, we expect that we as humans can control a dog. So we say good dog, bad dog, because we think we could control it, right? And which humans kind of do. They'll beat the shit out of a dog too. So not always, but even that, right? Or they'll just train them to where, okay, this is acceptable behavior. I'm gonna give you a treat. This is unacceptable. I'm not gonna give you a treat. So good dog, bad dog. A bear, and everybody knows, like, you ain't. A wild bear, ain't nobody controlling it. So you don't say good bear, bad bear. It's like, holy shit, the bear just ate somebody. Damn, okay. He was hungry. Like, if anything, see, and those lessons, you teach humans, like, don't be stupid. Like, you're not supposed to go by a wild bear. Like, see, in that case, we understand. But for some reason with other things, like, well, okay, I'm trying to go somewhere with this, but then it's going to it gets too deep. But so I'll just end it with this. It's kind of like, So with that, I understand what you said about good, no good and bad, because I get where you're seeing it from, which is great. But I guess I'm trying to explain. I don't know. See, to me, like I get it while we're here in these bodies and stuff. I still feel there's things that, well, how about this? Like there's things with good energy, bad energy. And maybe even that is not good energy, bad energy, but
let's say negative and positive. There you go.
Well, look, it's like that. Like I know you felt it, but I felt it where I had bad vibes from people. And sure enough, something was warning me. And it usually feels like something's punching you in your stomach, nasty. Like I even got that once. This friend was like, I didn't even know. So all of a sudden, I'm like in my living room. Something feels like a nasty, like something just hit me in my stomach, and then my phone rings, and I see who it is. It's this person. I answer, and I'm like, hello, like, and they're like, I'm like, you good? And they're like, oh, not really. I'm like, I know, I feel it. I'm like, something's like with you. Like I felt like there was some kind of entity with them, and it's because they were doing some kind of chingaderas, that allowed that negative energy to like, attach themselves to them. So see, to me, like there is negative stuff. So I don't know how to word that, right? Like no good. I get it though, because
I know what you're saying, and like well, in my belief, whenever you look at it from the higher realm, whatever perspective, it has to do with balance. Okay, yes, there is negative. Yes, there is positive. But of course, you want to be, like I said, a balance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna be putting yourself open to those bad entities or any bad energies and or negative energies, because that's what they are. They're very negative. Why? Because they tend to go more with the negative things like what is it? Envy,
yeah,
jealousy, anger, bitterness, any of those those are low vibration energy, right? So whenever you feel that from people, like, and you surround yourself with people like that, guess what you're gonna be vibing at? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, and that makes more sense, because even that, see, like to give another point your way, like elders, like native elders have said, like there's no good and bad too. So they will probably, they'll say, they'll say there's no good or bad either. So
no, that's a cool confirmation. Thank you.
But
I had never heard of that. See?
Yeah, but like, see, like how we said about that. Well, no, it's really no but just because we already talked about it, the energies, like, so that there is negative, or like you said, low vibrational. I like that one. Like there's low vibrational things that I guess we gotta be aware of.
Yeah, you just have to balance it. And like, for instance, I get it. Like whenever somebody is from your family, and you know what, they have an addiction. Let's put this. They have an addiction, and you're like, like you don't want to be around them, because every time you're around them, it's like low vibration. But that's your fam, right?
Yeah,
that's your fam. So what do? You try to bring them out of that, low vibration.
Yeah.
You don't go and you don't go and be like, you know what? Let's get drunk together if they're alcoholics, or you know what? Let's do drugs together if they're drug addicts. It's like, no, you don't do that, right?
But so many people do. That's the sad part. So many people don't know. You know what's sad? It's like, I don't know.
Because they get sucked into it.
I don't know
as well.
Yeah, like I don't know if it has anything to do with anything. So I don't know. Like I don't really want to mention it, but this is something I kind of thought about, like DMX, right? When DMX died, I'm not sure what happened, but I was like he probably, his music got me through a lot of stuff. Yeah. So when right before he died, I remember he was sober, and then they invited him on that show Drink Champs, and he was all drunk, and I remember watching it, like it didn't vibe right with me. Like people might have been like, yeah, Drink Champs, like, oh hell yeah, DMX, because whatever, on that show it's about like you're giving their flowers to these people while they're still here, and you invite them on this thing, and you get all like drunk and everything. But I was like, dude, if this dude was sober, now you invite him on this Drink Champs, And then he's getting all, because I forgot, like they kept throwing around different things of why he passed away, but it was like I don't know, did he drink on drink champs and then he went back and relapsed and then he ended up in the hospital? I don't know what happened. See, so that's kind of how I saw it. Like, why in the hell? Like, if he was sober,
it's a setup.
Well, that's what it felt like. How is it possible? Like, this guy's sober, and then you invite him on drink chats to get all wasted, and then who knows what else that caused? You know what I'm
because
saying?
I feel, Omar, that everybody, truthfully, like we go back to those little matrix, little.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, everybody can be an agent. Anybody can be an agent. So anybody can take your energy just like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Yes, we're all we have infinite energy and we do produce it. Because we are energy. But then it's like if you have someone that is just feeding off of you, so when are you, you're never gonna shine, you're never gonna be able to do anything with your life really. But just be there. Just yo le llamo patinando because you're just going in circles. You're just going in circles. You're just going in circles. You're not advancing. You're just stagnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what happens to most people. Most people, they're like, oh, but that's my family. Oh, that's my bro. That's my this. That's my whatever. Whoever is causing it, they're like, no, but that's, and that's how they get us.
Yeah.
Once you give up your power to anybody, anything, that's whenever, you hit, you're hit.
Like, no, that makes sense. That makes sense 100%. And before I forget, because I don't want to keep you here forever, but I know just share what you feel comfortable with. We've talked about it because I had a similar experience too, and I'll talk about it after. But like,
that's so funny. Look, before you even say anything, I wanna let people know because this is, or you want to talk about the dream that I had with the spaceship.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
But see, like the only reason why I stopped you is just so I can get confirmation. See, I already knew you were gonna say that, and it's not because we had talked about it. No, because I had already, you know what I mean? Like ya sentía esa palabra antes, like. And that's why I was like, wait, stop, because I really wanted it to make it clear. Ya sabía lo que ibas, ya sabía lo que me ibas a preguntar, and I just wanted because I'm very like in tune right now. I don't know why.
Well,
because we are talking. I'm very like in tune.
No, but I'm telling you, like, see, there's certain people we get in that deep conversation, and it's happened to me even in person where like even started happening to me before I was really aware, and even the other person will be like, whoa, it felt like we were on another, like we both be lightheaded.
No tienes que ni hablar.
Yeah, it'd be weird, and it'd be like we almost like we were having an out of body experience while being in the same room, but something, it's like a higher vibration when we were able to talk about these things. I don't know if people have experienced it, then they'll know what I'm talking about. If they haven't, then maybe one day.
But let's get to it. Look, I had a dream. It was pretty awesome. It was weird, of course, but it happened after my uncle passed away. He passed away in Iraq. Okay, he was 24 years old, and he was barely living. Right.
Yeah.
So it hit us. Deep. So he's the one that pain made me go inside myself and really, really learn why I'm here, why we're doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like it just. So, anyways, I had a dream. In this dream, I was with my husband and my two girls, and it was in a trailer somewhere, and all of a sudden we were just hiding because we saw the skies getting darker, right? And then there was like kind of like a tornado coming, but it looked like just a bunch of clouds, and then you saw this like a spaceship, and it wasn't like your regular like little disc. No, this one looked awesome, like legit, like out of this world, like era como tipo como like a little like a flecha, you know, like a little arrow, like black, and it just landed, and then the bag just dropped and it just opened, right? And that people were sitting there, but these people were wearing suits, right? They were wearing suits, and apparently, I guess it was the end of the world, right? So
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, apparently it was the end of the world, and you know, like I don't know if it was a planet, I don't know, but the point is, the world was gonna go to shit, and humans were not gonna make it because of the weather would change and all of that. We weren't gonna make it.
Yeah.
So whatever and I was like, what the heck is going on, right? And then this one soldier came, you know, and I call it soldier because they look like training people, like those ops. I want to say, you know how, what is it called? G.I. Joe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
You know those suits, the ones that they have? Exactly like that, but even more epic. And let me tell you why. Whenever they came down, whatever, their casco, right? Their face looked almost like fake, you know, like perfect.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like perfect. And that was my uncle. And as he was coming down, he was laughing, and like whenever my uncle would laugh, he would laugh very nervously. So he would do it in a really, really hilarious way. He would laugh like Scooby-Doo. Like he'll be like, you know, it was hilarious. So funny. He would do that. So in that dream, that actually came through, like the person that was, you know, the soldier that was getting down, you know, con su arm and all. He looked up, but he was going like this, and he was laughing like my uncle, and I was like, what? I was like, what? Like, I know that laugh. What's going on here, right? So ya me dio más confianza, so lo dejé que se acercara más, and he looks up, and it's him. I'm like, what the heck? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, you know what's going on? But he wasn't talking. He was telling me.
Yeah.
You know, telepathically, he was like, you know what's going on? You know, it's gonna go to shit. I had to leave first so I can get ready. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he was like, look, the only way you make it out of this one is the same thing they gave me. And he took a vial out like this, a little vial, and it had some black goo on it, like black goo. And he was like, look, I'm going to put this on your eye, right? Like he was telling me, like, you know, through here. Yeah, like he was going to go like this, like there were drops, right? Yeah. Apparently, look how crazy this is. Like he told me inside my brain, like telepathically, this is how I'm going to do it. And what they are is that they're nanotechnology. He's like, what it's going to go, they're like little machines. They're going to go inside your eye. They're going to spread throughout your bloodstream, and they're going to create this armor for you. So therefore, you're going to be able to make it, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, but we need to get out of here, do it, and we need to get out of here because en lo que como que for you to get used to it, like we had to be out of there because shit was going to hit the fan already, apparently.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, this how iffy what's going on, right? Like it was still like I don't know, you alien and shit, right? Like I don't know. My uncle died. You know what I mean? Like, who is you, right?
Oh.
Y luego miro así para allá. He's like, look, como I'm not the only one en la mente. And I'm like, what you mean? So me hace así como que mire para atrás. Miro para atrás y arriba donde se bajó la cosa esa, where he came down from, Estaban unos asientos así como cuando se avientan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Donde están sentados strapped,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I see two other people sitting there.
Mm.
One of them was my dad, and one of them was my grandpa.
Wow.
The faces I meant.
Yeah.
But their faces were young. They weren't old grandpa and old dad. It was like young dad and young grandpa. Okay. And I was like, what the? He's like, yeah, that's what the nanobites, that's what the nanotechnology does. Like, you know, like telling me, like, that's how it works. Like, we don't die. You know what I mean? We don't die. So what they did, they just put that on them. Yeah, apparently they brought everybody back with that. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay. So he asked me, and in the dream, it reminded me exactly of how my uncle had asked when he was alive. One time he took me out to eat sushi. And back then, whenever I was younger, I was very hard headed, very senile. And he hated that. He was like, dude, you're too young to be senile. You have to try different things. You can't be already set on your ways if you're not even old. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, wow, why sushi out of everything, right? Like, why can't it be like maybe some Italian pasta or something? It's something different because I was super Mexican food addict. That's it. I'm only eating tacos. You know what I mean? Like, fuck sushi, tacos all the way. So he takes me, and he was like, he looked at me, and I remember that day. He looked at me like, because I was hesitant. I'm like, I don't wanna. He looked at me like, do you trust me? But he me lo preguntó tan así al cora, and I was like, yes, of course I do. He's like, then take a bite. And I did. And I loved it. I love sushi ever since, right? But the point is, in the dream, that person was like, do you trust me?
Oh, shit.
Igual como me lo preguntó él, and that shit got me. I was like, yeah, I do. So whenever he did that, I let him. Boom, 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 boom. My body started changing, right? I literally felt like my abs tuck in, like where I have my C-section. Se me desborró, like la scar, like everything healed in my body. My arms, they like, you know, they're fatty McFatties. They got like super muscular. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, what? Like, it was pretty awesome. And then I woke up. But that was one of the dreams that I told you, that they were like super futuristic, and that I was like, what is that?
Well, I mean, see, okay, well, first I'm gonna ask you, how do you feel about that? Like, what did you feel? Like, did you believe deep inside? Did you really believe? You didn't believe him?
No, I was, but because I feel at that time, I didn't know what it was. It still scared me. You know what I mean? Like, I was getting all these dreams. I was feeling all these things, but it still scared me. Like, what does that mean? What am I supposed to do with it? You know what I mean? Like, and not only that, para decirte la neta, like al chile, like como se dice acá en México, al chile pelón, like, it was like, what if it was like some kind of entity, like trying, like, do you trust me?
Yeah,
no, you know what I mean? Like,
that's kind of how, you know, but I'll let you say that.
Literally, that's what went through my head. I was like, well, that's a much. You look like my uncle, you sound like my uncle, but, you know, like, ahorita ya lo miro más como un message that everything is gonna be okay. But like, before it was like, yeah, it was, like I said, I was hesitant, you know?
Yeah. No. And well, go ahead, finish, and then I'll say something.
Yeah, no, for me, right now, it just means, when I say it was a message, it just means that we're forever. Nobody dies. Their body died.
Yeah.
their energy still forever. And whenever that's now, whenever I look at the dream and how it happened, now I see that. Now I got the message. But because before I was so like, distrustful, you know what I mean? I didn't really know how to discern. You know what I mean? It was just like, ¿qué tal si es un demonio? No sé qué onda. Yeah, like, before I didn't know what kind of power we had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before we didn't know how powerful we are. Like nobody knows how powerful. Like it's sad. It's sad because we're powerful beings. It's like como dices tú, we're human beings and we expect a dog to be domesticated y no sé qué, que like and with human beings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've domesticated us.
Oh yeah.
They taught us how to talk, how to use our tongue when we already knew how to talk without no lights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They disconnected us. They dehumanized us. They not dehumanized, they spiritualized us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but in a way, probably, I mean, that was what it was to be human. It was normal. Like, see, like how you said, I can see both sides of it, right? I can see that somehow, because see, this is what I think, like, right? Like I've been visited by, these beings, right?
Yeah,
and they came to me a few times, but with them, I always think, even like, like when I get premonitions and everything, it's like so exact, and I've dreamed stuff that ended up happening. I mean, from what I've seen, even 10 years before it happened, right? And then you see like, holy, like, well, dude, this is what I dreamed 10 years ago, and then it's happening. So
yes,
when I look at it, it's like, how is it even possible? Unless like I see that. That's one version. I think that like us in the future are sending messages back to try to help us to prevent it from getting to that point, what you just mentioned. Imagine like in the future, if they're like, this is what it took. Since humans destroyed the world, it would take now nanotechnology for us to be able to survive in the environment. I could see that. Like right now, I would be like, hell no, I ain't putting no fake shit in my body. Like, no way. Like, I'll take my chances. I'll die naturally. But what if that was a dream? Like, it probably won't make sense to you, but it's going to make sense maybe to your great grandkid down the line. That's going to be, because that's why.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like people don't get it. Like,
I think because like you've been around a lot of Native people and you've heard their stories. I mean, like that's how it survived, dude. Like they've been saying the stories and throughout their generations, and what it resonates with someone within that timeline, and it's like, oh, my great grandfather had a dream and they had told me about this.
No, and even see, like, and not to be disrespectful to anybody, but even like the Bible, right? Like the Bible, to me, it's like if it got hijacked, right? Originally, it was all tribal people. That's why I think it resonated with me too. Like when I read all their stories, it really is like the stories are almost like Native people, but from over there. And somewhere it got like stolen by the churches. They made religions out of it and all that. But all it was stories. So one day, maybe their great grandkids could know, hey, this prophecy's coming. This prophecy's coming. The same, the same thing, 100%. So that's why when I first started reading the Bible, I resonate. I was like, dude, like, I get it. I get this story. I get that story. You know what I mean? So that's why it's not just, even before being around Native people, like, even when I was just walking by myself and understanding these things, and what, the Bible was probably one of my only references, but I never saw it, because it's sad, because how many people like discredit the Bible just because they hate religion so much. They're like, I don't want nothing to do with Christianity. I don't want nothing to do with Catholicism.
No.
Like,
ves, Ira, cuando like you said, you think over here, it's like, dude, like everything is, you take the signs from everywhere. Even within the Bible. I myself, I do not believe in religion because of what you just said. We see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Okay, just to keep it short with that, because people get offended really quickly. And the point is, in the Bible, there's so much truth, dude. So many messages, so many like good things, guides, and all those stories. A lot of them, they teach you really good stuff, and it helps you grow spiritually and as a person, right? But the point is, like, you have to learn how to discern.
Yeah.
And and take the weed the bad out, and the whole point is, did you get the message?
Yeah.
That's it. Did you get the message? Good. That's it. There's no point in dialogar con otras personas que porque like nunca vamos a acabar.
Yeah.
Nunca vamos a acabar. No, pero aquí que le dan yo 3,000, okay. Ya nada más diles que está bueno y que Dios los bendiga. That's it. Yeah, but like the point is, yes, even in the Bible, there are so much like good truths, and como dices tú, te dicen cosas que ya que van a pasar, que that come to pass. For instance, let me share real quick one of the passages. Que dijo Jesús dijo, in order for you to like get to my Father, you have to go through me. Or something like that. Something like that. I don't know the exact words.
Well,
okay?
it was like, no man cometh to the Father but through me, or something like that, right?
There you go. There you go. Okay. But see, okay, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I have to pray to Jesus.
Oh.
So because a lot of people, they're gonna, that's the way they rationalize, and it's okay. You got it that way. You got the message like that. But did you get it? Cool, awesome. I didn't get it like that. What I took from it, from what I took from it now that I understand more, was, in order for you to not meet God, but be connected with God, you have to go through yourself inside. That's what he meant by me, the us, the you. You know what I mean? You have to go in, and you're gonna talk to God.
Yeah. And I could talk about that forever, because
me too.
But I don't want to say. See, I think we talked about, like, I don't want anyone to get offended, like, if they're not ready for it. Yeah, I won't. Should I?
But it's a lot. It's a lot. But what I'm saying is, the whole point. The only reason why I brought it up is because, did you get the message? That's it. Did you learn from it? That's it. Did you get to discern that was not part of it because it didn't sound correct? Did it? Okay, then dismiss it and move on. Get the real message. A lot of people se quedan enganados. No, but what did they mean? Like, dude, that was like 1,500, I don't know how many years ago. It was a different mentality. It was a different society. Like, come on, dude. But a lot of people don't think like that. Like we said, they don't, they're not like, what's going on?
Well, and here's the sad thing is that I learned probably just as much from, if not more, from the books they took out of the Bible than the ones that are in it. And the sad part is because, see, imagine at some point, the priest or whatever were like, oh, this book's not good. This book's not good.
Oh, estás hablando como el de Enoch.
Yeah, of course. Enoch and all that stuff. And so, of course, it's obvious that, maybe things were changed here and there. So that's another thing people throw. But like you said, discern. Like, pray. Like, I mean, that's whole part of it's like supposed to be a whole spiritual experience. So pray as you're reading and see what feels, like how you said about the disconnected. One thing they disconnected us, like scientists now have shown that there's all these nerves in your stomach. That's why the whole gut feeling, like, it's real. Like, your gut literally is connected spiritually, like insane, right? It has like so many connective receptors and this and that, which, it's like little antennas, it'll tell you if something's right or wrong. So people really got to learn to ask, pray, and then, I don't know if necessarily the answers are inside of us. I think they are, right? But also when we do that, we tap in also to like the whole energy in the sky, the spirit, the spirit world, everything around us. And it's like when animals bring me messages, it's insane. It's like it doesn't even make sense if you think about it logically. That's why you have to be able to not be so connected to just this 3D world, because it wouldn't make, like, anyone would see like how now it's almost like they're talking to you, but they don't even talk. Yeah, it's like they'll pop up and I'll be like, huh, and I know exactly what the message they're bringing me, and it's insane, and it never fails. Just like the little hummingbirds today. Last time, like, I was driving and a peacock stops in front of my car. There's this city that has like, but that doesn't happen every day. You know what I mean? Like the peacock stopped in front of my car, and it was like, and I'm just watching it like a motherfucking peacock just stopped in front of my car. You know what I mean? And it has so many meanings. Like if you look it up, it's a lot of powerful stuff. But even at the moment, right? Like a peacock is like one of the few, like, I don't know how many birds could do it, but they'll kill snakes. You know what I mean? I know eagles do too and all that, but like, peacocks really don't fly that well. Like they could fly, but it's not like their thing. But
they ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as beautiful as they look and everything, but there was just so much. Like I went down, like for, I don't know, maybe over 30, 40 minutes just reading about all the stuff with the peacock, and it resonated perfectly. But it was like, dude, it literally stopped in front of my car, and it's like I just had to stop. Like you wait.
No, they will. Like, did you see me?
Yeah. No, it did. It looked back at me.
Because I came here too, so you can see me, so you can get the message.
It literally just looked back at me like, huh, like I got in front of you, like.
So what?
Exactly, like, and I got the message. I see you, like, I like said something.
I remember whenever you said that, whenever you started telling me about how we get messages from animals and stuff like that. Of course, I started being more open to it. Of course, I started, looking around like, what you mean? And I remember, I was in my brother's swimming pool, like, and I was just, just chilling. It was super awesome, the summer heat, and then all of a sudden, a dragonfly. And it was in my face because I was floating, I was just floating, taking all the heat from the sun. And then all of a sudden you just see the dragonfly like, hey, what's up? Yeah. And I was just like, it literally took me aback. I was like, what? Like, is that what he means? Like, they literally do. Yeah. Like, you feel their energy saying like, hey, I'm here. What's up? Like, I'm just like, what? And it stayed there. And I was like, okay. And I even talked to it. I was like, hey, I'm new to this and you're freaking me out a little. I was very honest because it did. It was a little, it took me, because I hadn't gotten messages like with animals, or insects or anything, I was just like, what? But it was cool.
No, and the dragonfly has so many, it's like the dragonfly, like the hummingbird, are some of the only creatures that go, go forward, backwards.
Yo no sabía, sí, por eso te lo estoy mencionando, porque me acuerdo que, no sé si se me ha pasado decirte, se me hace que no te había contado.
Yeah, no, I
pero
don't remember.
Ahorita cuando me dijiste eso y que me estabas contando ahorita me acordó, like, mention it, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. Pero sí me acuerdo de eso que me pasó con el dragonfly, and it did freak me out, and I was honest about it. I was like, hey, like, it because it was just there. Yeah. Like I was floating, just floating, chilling, vibing with the sun, and all of a sudden, like, what are you doing? Huh? And I'm just like, what? Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a cool experience.
And the animals, sometimes they only show up one time. Like, it's crazy. Like, only, like, I think the first time I went to like these mountains that I ended up going to a lot after, and I haven't gone recently, but like I'll go every once in a while. It was the only time seeing a chinchilla, and it was at the very first time I think I went, and I've never seen it again, and I've never seen another chinchilla. But it went perfect with the message of that time. It was it had to do with like adventures and this and that. And I think right when I saw it, then I started going on hikes during that whole time and a lot of time like alone and this, I don't know, but it just went perfect. Like when I looked up the message and I posted it on Instagram and someone was like, oh, that's a chinchilla. And I was like, what? I thought it was a mouse. And I was like, dude, this mouse is the bravest mouse I ever seen because it just jumped in front of me. It looked at me, through whatever. And then I pulled out the phone, started recording, and then it just jumped out. Like it went back. But I was like, I've never seen a mouse that brave to just come. It jumped like, I don't know, a foot, 2 feet in front of me. And then it just jumped back and that was it. And so I looked it up. I was like, I was trying to find what a mouse, like what that meant. But then I posted it on Instagram and someone was like, oh, that's a chinchilla. I was like, what the hell? And then I looked it up and I was like, wow, like that, the message went perfectly. And I've never seen one again. I've never seen one again, but it brought me that message on that day and it was perfect. And that's how it is sometimes. Like you'll see animals that you probably won't see again. You know what I mean? And
yeah, no, for sure. Like, and right now my mom had sent me a lot of frames. So my apartment wouldn't look so lonely, and one of those was actually a dragonfly.
Ah.
Yeah. So it literally reminded me. I'm like, like it keeps coming.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. No. Well, I don't know what else. I'm sure we
podcast.
Huh?
No, my neighbor.
Oh.
My
Okay.
neighbor.
Hey.
He loves hiking. He does the cerro like out here.
Oh, tell him saludos de California.
Saludos de California. We're actually talking about spiritual things. And I do talk to them about all of it. I have actually done some tarot readings. Like I talk to like I feel I had to meet them. I'm super comfortable with him, with my other, with his roommate also. They're really amazing people, and they're very open-minded. And they're younger. You know what I mean? So it gives you hope. It gives you hope.
What? That's a good point. So I mean, we'll I guess as we're nearing the end, because I don't want to keep you forever, but like I do have hope. The younger generation does give me hope because it's funny though. Like I want to make sure they don't get steered wrong because I have a friend like she'll always tell me like, oh, like on TikTok they were showing how to make a spell on this, and I'm like, hey, don't like. And I tell her be careful because the stuff they're saying is probably correct, but they don't know. They got no clue what they're dealing with spiritually. Like you don't just do stuff and think no energy is gonna come back to you. Like that's not how it works, And I feel sorry for people
and
that
just real quick, and that goes with everything. So people forget it.
Yeah.
That goes with cruces, de Diosito, de todo lo que tengas, tienes tu Biblia, tienes todo eso, todo eso. You don't know what you're dealing with because it is spiritual.
Yeah.
And you can go because, son los ángeles de Dios, o porque tiene que ver, es la Biblia, es algo bueno. Claro que sí, en este mundo es bueno, claro que sí. Pero whenever you have those type of things in your house, guess what you're attracting?
Yeah.
The other side of the coin.
Yeah, exactly. And no, go ahead, finish.
Okay, that's one of the beliefs I have. Like, if you want to put logically, if you want to think like a human, dude, then put that into the same with everything.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have, or even like Christmas things, like the Christmas tree, all the symbols that you're using. I mean, if you want to really go into it, like all of that.
No, 100%. And everything does have symbolism. I mean, see, to me, some things, I think some things are harmless, right? But at the same time, like I know that, like we were talking about earlier, whenever I try to start the spiritual thing again, but I know that's my walk. See, I've tried to just be like, I'm gonna live a normal life, work a regular job, and I do sometimes, and I'll get disconnected, but it pulls me back, somehow, some way, right?
Okay, es que we're not on the path that we're supposed to be following. We steer off because, like we've talked about this before. We're human. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
still like we're still here. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're spiritual beings. Yeah, but we're still living here in the 3D world. We still have to pay bills. We still have to,
Yeah,
like the real. We
yeah,
can't live,
no.
like, and like
And
I
it's
said, yes, we can do it. Yes, we can live off the land. Of course, heck yeah. How we've done it.
well, I
Yeah.
mean before, but
It's hard. Yeah. Now
like
it's different. You have to
yeah,
go with the times now.
yeah, yeah.
Now, it's money. How do you make it? Learn how to use it, and that's it.
Yeah. But I think more like it gives me hope when I see there is, but see, yeah, on a big, what's funny? I don't know somewhere in a class or something, they said this and it was like, or I don't know if it was a video, but a guy giving like a class kind of thing. But he said it was funny, like how big corporations, they'll push it like, oh, how can you reduce your carbon footprint? When it's like even that, see, they'll trick you psychology into thinking that we're the problem when they're putting up, like they're throwing all this pollution nonstop, and they'll be like, oh, what can you do to reduce your carbon footprint? And like, what? Like if they shut down one of their factories, like it will probably reduce it for like 1 million
Yeah.
people. But they brainwash us to think that and that's what it, like, I don't know if we're ever gonna wake up and be able to, because we got the numbers, right? The people could go shut down, like, hey, there, enough. You're not doing this no more. You're not doing that no more. We don't want a damn war. Imagine if a president's sending everyone to war, but the soldiers don't want to fight. Who's gonna fight them? Like their crusty asses ain't gonna fight. It's all the so that's when people finally wake up and be like, you know what? Enough is enough. Like, there was this old Marine that he was one of the most decorated Marines, right? And
Mhm.
I barely came across the book. I had read what he said, but I didn't know he wrote a whole book about it. Damn, I can't remember the name. I just sent the audiobook to somebody, but it was like he explained, like he knew, like he said, like the Marines were being used just like hitmen, like when they went to overthrow, like I don't know, Nicaragua or this or that, everywhere they were getting sent, like he knew they were being used, and he was trying to push against that, right? Like when they
Mhm.
went to take over here, it was for Exxon. When they went here, it was for Citibank or something. When they went here, so he named it how he knew they were being used like that. You see, and
Mhm.
I think at one point someone tried to use him to like go start kind of like I don't know if it was an overthrow of the government or what, but they were trying to use him to, but I don't know if he didn't want to. What happened with that? But see,
Mhm.
that's what it would take though. Like for even that, like military people, all that to finally be like, dude, we know what you're doing. Like, and in that book too, he said it's like it's the soldier that goes to die. They're the ones that come back with PTSD. They're the ones that come back with limbs blown off and all this, and they're making these people richer, right? Like the banks, the freaking oil, whoever sent them to that war for that reason. But this guy broke it down, and it was good to see that someone in such a high-ranking military, have the balls really to say that. And he wrote a whole book about it and everything. And so that's what it would. That's all it would really take. It's really that simple. But they got us so brainwashed. That's why the movies. I remember till like years later, like the movie Top Gun, when I saw this thing, thanks to YouTube. On YouTube, they showed how I think the CIA was, they were like part of making that whole movie Top Gun, and they saw recruitment in the Navy skyrocket, like because of the movie. So the whole movie
Mhm.
Top Gun was for the purpose of promoting people to join the
Of
military, and it
course,
worked. It
yes,
worked
but
100%. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and if
So
you're not open, if you're not connected, to knowing and discerning, like you're gonna fall,
yeah, but yeah,
victim, like
but yeah.
everybody else, like every robot, like yeah,
Well, that's what
done.
they're trying to make us. Like that's why, even like when you talk, like how we used to, because that's what happens to me too. Like right when I started seeing like these beings and these visions, we'll talk telepathically, and I knew it. Even my brother, right? Like when he first passed away, he started coming to me in a bunch of dreams, and that's how we would talk telepathically. Like we knew everything. Like we would talk, and then after I started hearing his voice, maybe I had to adjust. Maybe I had to adjust. Someone's breaking in through your window or
No,
something.
no, neighbors or
uh, yeah, no, but I think that's what they're trying. Now they're pushing like that guy Elon Musk about like, oh, we're gonna be in the future real soon. we're going to be able to implant the chip in your brain, and then you're going to be smarter, and you're going to be all this and that. And it's like, we already had that. But see, they disconnected us to now they could sell us like, hey, we could put this, you want to be smarter? You want to be this? We could put this in your head. But we already had that, you know? That's why it's funny. You know, yeah, I don't know if people are going to wake up or not or this and that. But it's really simple. All you got, the power of no. All you got to do is say no. They can't do nothing. You know, it reminded me like, you know, when I went through like boot camp and everything, right? It was funny in the military, like, dude, you go, you know, it was funny. Like some people, they did tranza. So after the first week, they couldn't take it. They were like, you know, some people, yeah, I swear, some people like, I remember when I was in there was some guy that tried to say he was going to hang himself. So they kicked him out. They were like, okay, we can't, like, you know, but it was nothing. It was like, yeah, it's hard when you're going through it. They're like, cause you know, they push you to the limit, but once you pass it, like, you're like, dude, okay, I did it, you know? But, damn, there was the point at the end of it all, they're like, if you guys wanted to get kicked out, all you had to do was refuse to train. That's it. And everyone was like, what? You know, all the yelling and, I'm gonna, you know, kick your ass. I'm gonna, you know, shove my foot up your ass or my boot up your ass. And then at the end, they're like, you know, if you guys wanted to leave, all you had to do
you can just say no,
yeah,
right?
That's it. All you had to do was refuse to train. What could we
Pero
do?
no te dejan en el aspecto de que you think you have no choice.
Psychologically, because they get you psychologically. They scare you like, now you're going to go to military prison or something. They really, but the truth was the illusion, see the smoke screen. But they were like, yeah, all you had to do was refuse to work. And that's the same with the people in the whole, on a big global scale. All we would have to do is be like, no, to whoever's pushing whatever on us at any time. Because
like, no, I refuse to pay any more taxes. I
don't want to do this.
I don't want to. I want free energy for everybody. I want free water for everybody. That should be free. Period. But you know,
But they use the tools. You know, they already mastered. That's what they mastered, the propaganda, how to brainwash us to think we don't have a choice.
Sí, porque literalmente, I was talking to my future roomie. And we're talking, right? Because she was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna be able to save," and I was like, "Yeah, well, it's gonna be awesome. You're gonna save." And we're talking about how she loves art. You know, she does some great paintings and stuff like that. And she was like, "Dude, I wish I could put this, put my work. You know, like, you know how they do this, what are art shows, right? Yeah. Where you put all your work, you know what I mean?" I'm like, well, dude, actually, you can do anything you want, right? You know that, right? And she's like, pues es que el dinero. I'm like, no. Primero haces lo primero. What's the first thing? No, create your art. Create your art. That's all you have to do. Create your art, do your show. What do? You look for a place where you can rent it for that day, you know, pass flyers, Facebook, whatever, you know, get them there so they can look at your art. Lo vendes o lo que tengas que hacer, right? And she looked at me like the face. I was just like, she's like, I had never thought about it like that. Yeah. And that, and because she's younger, I'm like, I get it, but then it's like, dude, when I was 9, I already knew my power. When I was 9, by the time I was 15, I was already making like 5,000 a week with what I used to do. You know what I mean? But because I use my mind, you know, like the possibilities are endless. We're infinite. We're creators. We can do anything and everything is possible. You know what I mean? But people, they're like, no, because I have to be, you know, with this corporation of this people that promote the best art galleries in the world. So therefore I can be count. No. You said what you wanted to do. You want to do your own art show. You want, you know, get your paintings out there, then do it. You don't need nothing or nobody. You have the power to do it yourself. You know, people don't know their power. And people need to get that power back. But like you said, hope people wake up. But yeah, everybody has to go through their own thing.
Yeah.
All we can do though, and I want to put it out there, I want to remember to put it out there. All we can do, if you are conscious and you're listening to this, wake people up. Tell them, throw them a bone. Let them know. If that's your family, man, have your family's back. Let them know, like, hey, you effing up. Hey, you doing this. Hey, that's not good for you. It's called unconscious shock. Do it. Nobody else is gonna tell them. And if you know somebody who is, like going through a path or anything like that, like tell them. If you know better, tell them. That's your responsibility as a human being. If y'all have that knowledge, pass it on to your peoples, man. Don't just keep it to yourself. Ay, a ver cómo le va, no sé nada. Like, tell them, hey, you know what? Like I did with my kids, okay? I got married really young. By the time I was 15, I was married. I had my first kid when I was 17. Okay. So what did I do? I told my kids, hey, hay tiempo para todo. I do not regret having you because it made me grow into an adult faster than I could say hi. You know what I mean? Like, but hay todo su tiempo. Mira, yo fallé así. Mira, aquí me hubiera salido mejor así. You tell them. You tell them, don't trip with the same rock that I did. Look, there's a rock there. Yeah, I know you have bigger feet. It's a rock, you can crush it. Okay, but I'm letting you know what happened to me. You know what I mean? But let them know.
I never heard that before, but I like that. Don't trip on the same rock I did. That's.
Pues es que sí. O sea, as human beings, like, look, we're all running. This is a race of the human race, right? We're all running. We're all running. Hey, you tripped, you fell, you broke your ankle, you have to go through the emergency room, you have to go through some shock. You had to go through all this whole painful experience because of a freaking rock. The least you can do is tell the person behind you. Why would you want them to go through the same thing you did? And yes, everybody's going to live different experiences. Just like I said, that's why I said, I can crush that. I know you can crush that rock with your foot. You know what I mean? That rock is nothing to you. You're not going to trip on it. You probably just jump over it. But I'm letting you know this happened. Let them know. Let your peoples know. I told my kids, and my oldest is 24. She's not pregnant. She's still good. And she doesn't have any kids. She's taking care of my brother's kids, actually, the one that passed away. Giving them all the love and making sure their holidays are full of joy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they're happy. My youngest one, she's 21 and she is in her third year of electrical engineering. She's awesome. And she has no kids. She has a dog. She loves, dicen los perrisnietos aquí en Mexico, perrisnietos, that's funny. But yeah, and like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you have to have kids, you have to do this, or don't have. I even told them, I was like, hey guys, I was just saying not to have kids in your teens, like,
oh yeah.
There's time for everything, porque ya empezaron a crecer más y más, and they're like, no, todavía tenemos más cosas que hacer, So they're focused on themselves, and I love that. On their growth, they're being more mature. Like, I love it. I love it. But the point is, you let your peoples know. Let them know. Shock them. It doesn't matter. Do it. Lo más que te pueden hacer es de que te dejan de hablar como por una semana y como quieras. But at least you let them know.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how we help. That's how people are gonna wake up. By people like us. We're their little Wi-Fi, so they can connect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's
their little antennas.
Great. That's a great, like, closing message. Like, I couldn't have said it any better not to close it out, like unless you want to say anything else, but
no, that's it. I really wanted to say that.
yeah, no,
I really
thank you.
wanted
And
to say
thank
that
you.
and make sure that people know,
Yeah.
not everybody's gonna think the way we do. No, everybody has a different perspective. Yes, but what we can do to help each other, so we can see it the way it is. You can always just shock them, let them know, And even if a lot of people are gonna say this is, it's because I don't want to get into it, but with anything, religious, religion, political views, anything. Don't be scared. Shock them. Let them know your truth. It doesn't matter. Let them know because you know better. They don't. Pero si les dices that like this world would be so much better if people like us didn't stay quiet and actually said something. Porque todos nada más dicen, ay, no, mira que mira, pobrecito. Ay, no, yo me acuerdo cuando, ay, bueno, pobrecito, you should told him something.
Yeah.
¿Por qué no dijiste nada?
That's fun.
Tú miraste que andaba en la peda y miraste que andaba bien acá porque no le dijiste nada. Pues es que se hizo crash y que tuvo un accidente, ya. That's all we can do. We tell them. Tampoco te estoy diciendo que you're going to be saving everybody. No. Don't get it twisted. No. We're not Jesus. He did that. Not us. No. We're here just to pass, the test and help others. That's it. Just help them. You're not going to save them. You're not going to do everything for them. You're not going to make sure they finish. No. Just let them know. Because we're on the same race. We're all learning. We're all here, trying to discern, trying to, be better human beings. And at the end of the day, I think that's the goal, I hope. I hope that goes for everybody. Right?
I hope that's
But yeah, that's it. Just help people.
Yeah.
Let them know.
No, thank you. Thank you for saying that. So I didn't have to. No,
the connection is real. The
connection. Yeah. No, and I knew, I don't even know. I don't have the clock thing on, so I don't even know how long we've been talking for. But I knew we were gonna talk for a long time. I was like,
siempre es así. Y eso que we didn't even touch half of the stuff that we always touch on.
Yeah, no.
Because I love talking to you because I get confirmations. Okay. I get confirmations, and those to me, they make me feel more, ¿cómo te diré? Not in tune, not even more connected, more sure, more that it's concrete, that that's what it is. Like, ya no, I don't question it anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No more. I know what it is.
No, that's
so yeah.
No.
Thank you so much, Omar. Like,
no, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Like, yeah, no, thank you. We'll have to do this again. Like, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. I love it. I
we'll throw in another.
People actually send you messages and ask questions. And what do you think about this? And I love it. Bring it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
No. And then hopefully one day, like, I don't know. I think you have to have, I don't know, maybe I could already do it live, like on, but hopefully like if I get more people subscribing and everything, and that way there's more people to ask questions and everything, we could start doing it live, and then I could bring you on again, and we could have people actually asking questions, like.
Oh yeah, by the way, so we can go into the tarot, because we didn't go into it. We're just touching up, like.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask somebody else, but I could even have you back on, and we could even discuss it, or I could ask somebody, and then I'll bring you on as well to talk.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome, because I only touched on it. Like, I'm not like full throttle like a lot of people are. More, they have years of experience,
Yeah.
And I think that would be awesome because like I said, it's confirmations for me, because most of the time, most of my life, I've just como te diré, nada más me dejo, like you just said, like no, que los Native Americans, their ancestors, que dijeron que eso, lo mismo que yo dije, o sea, there's no bad or there's no good, right? Like, I was like, what? They say that, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know if everyone believes that in general, but a lot of, I've heard elders say that, you know, that I've been learning from.
Que tú lo hayas oído.
Yeah. Like they feel, you know, there's no good or bad. It's so, you know, probably because, see, and that goes to show you, like, during those times, it was probably more simple. You know, people, like, you know, you did what you had to do to survive, but it wasn't like, you know, even that.
I feel life hasn't changed. Life is still simple, pero ¿sabes lo que sí sé? Es de que they're setting us up for failure.
Oh, yeah, so they could stay, because it's like, it's that simple. It's so people at the top, well, look at, well, okay, it's so people at the top keep the power, and then
no, claro que sí, no, for real.
It's like the thing, like the military, right? Like what I said about that. But even, see, when I was young, and no disrespect to anybody that, you know, is in gangs and all that stuff, but when I was little, I noticed that. I saw it with my own eyes, that there were older gangbangers that would use the younger ones to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know, who knows? Maybe at one point they were in the same situation, so to them it's part of the normal, like, pecking order, right? Yeah. But I was like, I saw that, and so I didn't join the gang, because I saw I'm not gonna, you know, I did what I had to do to, you know, when I was out there, like, you know, I was no punk and whatever, so I lived my life how I lived. You know, you basically have to, like, learn how to survive, like, when you're, you know, on the streets, you know, when you grow up where there's a lot of gangs and all that stuff. So you're around it. Like, all my friends got into gangs and this and that. But to me, it was like, it didn't make sense, because I noticed that, especially when you're young, you notice how, you know, this guy was trying to even recruit us once. I remember when I tried my little tagging days, like in junior high, right? I was tagging. And that's when they were trying to do the whole tag banger thing. And there's like veterano from a neighborhood was trying to recruit. Oh yeah, look at, like, I'm gonna, like, sponsor you guys. You know how they use, like, I'm gonna bring you in. You guys are gonna be clicked up with our gang, and we're gonna, like, you know, you guys are gonna kind of represent us. And then it was funny, because then soon after that, a lot of gangs started doing that, and all the little taggers got jumped into the gangs. So it was like, then it was like tag banging, but then it wasn't even just tag banging, like, they got jumped into the gang. So it was like, imagine a veterano guy, probably 40, 50 years old, telling little junior high kids, hey, you know, I mean, you know, we were already knuckleheads, right? Tagging and stuff, but it was like, he was gonna sponsor, like, bring us into, you know, we're gonna be clicked up with a gang. See, like, as a kid, I didn't really realize it yet. I didn't realize, like, you know, you're around the gangs, but you don't really realize, like, the beefs and all that stuff is real. Like, when I was tagging, that's when I got exposed to people wanting to follow you from this tagging crew, like, you know, like, yeah, then they were like, oh wow, this is kind of like a gang. Like, it was already like a gang. But then even that, like, you know, some kind of veteran dude, like, trying to pull you in, like, yeah, you know, we're gonna, you know, you guys are gonna be like our little thing. But then after, like, within 2 years, you saw, like, all these little, like, taggers started getting jumped into neighborhoods that were, like, clicked up like that, you know. So I saw it, like, you know, and then they, you know, they send the little ones to go do stuff, and you see it. I'm sure there's little interviews where it's like the 12-year-old kid that shot somebody because, hey, you're a kid, so you know, you don't have to, you won't do time, right?
Yeah.
You'll be tried as a juvenile, but slap on the wrist and blah blah blah. So, you know, that's how it is. I don't know how I got into that whole thing. I know it was a reason, like, what the hell are we talking about? We're talking about well, just the way they use us, right? Like, the way they're always using us, and you could see it on a small. That's why, if people think it's too big, like, oh, it's a conspiracy. But if you see with a small thing, right, like a gang, that's how it works. Then something bigger.
Pero ves, like, es como like, monkey see, monkey do. Like, where do you think they got those tactics? That's what they were taught, because that's what it was done to them, right? Oh, same as the whole world, the way it's working right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that they're trying to do bad, is that that's the only thing they know how to do. That's the way it is. Well, yeah. You know, like a lot of people, I've seen, they, you know, they're like, oh, no, pues I have to go to school so somebody can teach me how to do this and how to do that. And, and I'm like, well, how come you don't just learn it?
Yeah.
We have internet. Why don't you learn it? We have libraries. We have books. Read.
No, and
follow the instructions. What's going on? What's going on? Pero no, porque then it doesn't count. Porque then you don't get the diploma. You don't get the recognition. Like, fíjate todo cómo nos dicen cómo deben de ser las cosas y no nos están bien hechos.
Yeah. And
just so you don't learn, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, for instance, like that art thing, like, yeah, no. Pero a lo que me voy es de que they're just taking advantage of us because they disconnect us. How? Through media, through the low vibration. How, como si se avaricia, like all the low vibration, negative feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
¿Por qué? Porque lust, like all of those. All that one's not super bad. And no, but yeah, all of those. No, all of those, like, that's how they get you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can easily live off the land, and life is that simple.
Why it was,
Life
but
is
then
that simple.
Yeah.
No, it is. It still is.
No. I'm saying,
what I'm saying is, like, aquí hay gente que todavía vive en su rancho, and they live off the land. That's what I'm going.
Yeah,
Pero, ¿por qué no lo hacemos? Porque we want to be successful. We want to have, quiero poder estudiar and go to college and get my degree so I can be successful the way the world sees success.
Exactly.
The world does not see success as being healthy, happy, spiritually, fulfilled or whatever, having your kids, raising them, teaching them, like creating your own art, growing, like I said, eating for, like living from the earth, like, ya nadie quiere eso, porque ya no los cambiaron nuestros perspectives, pero la vida siempre ha sido simple. They've just they literally like hijacked us, our brain, the way we think, because ya la gente no piensa normal, like piensan como todos piensan, you know what I mean? I'm gonna wear my Nike so I can go run, because if not, I can't just do it. You know what I mean? Like stupid shit like that. I'm sorry.
No, but hey, you made a good point, because to take it to even further, it's like, now what is it? Like the latest TikTok trend, and everybody mindlessly just like, and I've been like I know, like, I don't know why and how I did it, but even during the whole Will Smith thing, like I posted a few Will Smith things because, like everyone's looking for that, and I posted some things, and after I was like, I posted like probably like 3 things about it, and after I was like, then I saw like how it just got flooded, and I was like, yeah, I'm not posting nothing else, because people just wouldn't let that whole thing go, right? Like, but yeah, everyone just follows the new trend, and
everybody talks about it, which is it's sickening. It's sickening, because look, this is the way I see it, okay? And I hope, like, whoever listens, oh my God, this is the way I see it. Do you fucking know Will Smith?
No.
Do you know Jada?
No.
Is he your cousin? Your second cousin?
Yes. No,
you know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you worried about those people?
Because they're putting it down, everybody. See, that's what people don't understand, is that there is...
Why are we having opinions? Why are we having a whole conversations? Why?
Yeah.
I don't... It's such a waste.
Yeah.
Such a waste. Like, why? Like, why are you people... Like, even, what is it? Even with Trump, whenever Trump was around.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all this controversial, and everybody was, and I get it. I understand. Whenever people are arguing, you're like, no, you want to put in your 2 cents? Keep your motherfucking 2 cents. You need them. You know what I mean? Like, no, you need them for your own. What are you doing with your life? Yeah. What's going on with you, with your relationship? Why are you worried about this random ass people who, man, I don't even know if they're real humans or not. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just see them through the freaking screen.
That's a good point.
Like, people have to remember, the TV is for entertainment purposes only. Not for you to take into a whole like argument about how wives should treat husbands and about the psychology of the masculinity. Shut the fuck up. Did you pay your rent on time? Huh? Like, did you?
But then,
no,
but I think that's what, like the people that make videos that get, like, dude, I saw some people posting Will Smith videos that have millions of views and they're making money off of it. No, but they're making money off of it. So I got like and it's sad though, see, because then everyone, they could have been watching something educational, but they're watching the Cheeseman because someone made it, oh, this is, check it out, this is that. And we know the reason he slapped her. And like how you said, oh, it's the, his brain was this or masculinity this or something. But see, they're making money. No, but they're making money off of it. So they suck in everybody.
Energy and money.
Yeah. They're sucking everyone into the energy of the circus show because they're making money off of it. But like your time could have been spent better doing something else. But
something else. Like, por eso estamos desconectados, because but they keep us entertained. They keep us entertained because the people are still hooked in. The people still talk about it. They still say jokes whenever you're I don't know, in a get together. Oh, remember the dude, I can't stand that. I swear, like, whenever, like, the people I have around me, like, if you're not gonna talk about real stuff, then I don't want to talk to you. It's a waste. Like, what's going on with your life? What's up with your masculinity or whatever they like, no, I don't want to talk about some random ass, like, why? Like, who are they? Like, people worry about this, all of these stars and all of this. Johnny, the other time, oh my God, did you see what Johnny did and the divorce? I'm like, no, I was working, I was playing with my pup, and then she pooped and I had to pick it up. I was doing real stuff, minding my business, keeping my 2 cents, I don't care. No, que se cortó, quién sabe, que no me importa. It's none of my business. I don't know, like, Johnny Depp, dude, Pirates of the Caribbean was hard. That's it.
Yeah, no, I like Johnny Depp because we got the same birthday, in case you didn't know. But other than that, I got what you're saying about
yeah, no. Like I said,
I got you.
No estoy diciendo que no tienes que saber quiénes son. Like,
no, I know.
Claro que sí. Like,
I got you.
They're out there, like, entertainment purposes only. Great movie, great actor. The end.
Yeah, not to get invested into it. I got what you're saying. Like,
you know what I mean? It's such a waste, and that goes with everything. Not only that, it goes with football. It goes with sports. It goes with everything that keeps you disconnected and connected to, like, what? To what? Like, think about it. Like, what? No, dude. But ya se oscureció aquí.
No, I know. I saw it. Like, I was gonna ask you, like, what the hell happened? I thought you turned off the light, but I never saw you. Yeah. No, but I guess on that note, yeah, like, we see, that's how it usually goes, right? The Gemini's talking, like, it's always like, oh, we're gonna cut it off right there, and then again, and then 20 minutes later, right here. But all right, we'll cut it right there. Thank you, Silvia, so much for being a guest. I appreciate it. I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff. Hopefully people get something out of it.
I hope so too.
Yeah. If not, then at least for entertainment purposes only, right? So,
yes.
Regardless, like, if they get something out of it, or maybe this ends up being for entertainment purposes only. But yeah.
It's up to them.
I think
Yeah.
exactly. But thank you once again for being a guest. I'll have you on again. Maybe we'll talk about the tarot next time and all that. But yeah, have a great night. Since it got dark over there.
See
You're
ya.
2 hours ahead, I think, of California, right?
Yeah.
So
2 hours. Yeah.
yeah. So okay, thank you, Silvia.
Thank
Any
you.
last thing or
No, ya, porque si no
okay.
le seguimos.
I know. Okay. All right. I'll
Be
talk to
safe.
you. Okay, you too. All right.
Bye bye.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sometimes you just feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You just feeling it. And I wanna feel this way forever.